Before we begin our service today, we acknowledge that we are gathering upon the homeland of the Western Abenaki people. The Abenaki people honored Mother Earth and recognized her nurturing beauty, nurturing the land, the creatures, and the Abenaki people living here. For millennia, the Western Abenaki people have lived in harmony with nature. They loved and cared for this land. We now have the privilege of gathering here as a religious community. Let us do so honoring their legacy of appreciation and stewardship of the earth. Good morning. I am Diane Marie. My pronouns are she and her, and I am your worship associate today. On behalf of the full worship team, I welcome you warmly and deeply and appreciate each and every one of you on this beautiful spring day. Thank you to all of you gathered here in the sanctuary and on those of you on the live stream for coming together in shared worship on this beautiful spring day. We are glad you are here with us. Since 1864, the Unitarian Church of Montpelier has been a sanctuary for those seeking both personal and spiritual sustenance and the promotion of widespread peace, justice, goodwill, and love. And we welcome all into this community where we affirm the worth and dignity of every person and the interdependence we share with all people and the natural world around us. It's always a pleasure to have newcomers and guests. If this is your first or second time and you wish to do so, you are invited to stand or wave your hands. We might offer you a special welcome. Oh, there we go. Newcomers are invited to fill out our welcome form available at the hospitality table in the vestry during coffee hour so that we may connect with you more and welcome you more fully. Now let us take a moment to welcome our neighbors in the pews. We're invited to continue your conversations during coffee hour after the service. So that everyone present can get the most out of our time together this morning, we have hearing assist devices and fidget bags available at the table at the rear of the sanctuary. You can also listen and watch the service in the fireplace room downstairs if you care to leave the sanctuary for any reason. Oh, yes, sorry. Can you hear me now? Sorry about that. All right, also, a member of our lay pastoral care team is available here in the sanctuary after the service if you have a personal concern and would like to share more deeply. This morning, our lay pastoral caregiver is Gail Picard. Where is she? There she is, thank you. All right, this morning, we are happy to have pianist Stephen Brown, who will provide the music for today's service. Please make sure your cell phones are silenced. Take a deep breath and enter more deeply into our time of worship with a prelude.
I'm just going to use this opportunity for a little recruitment for our AV team. We have only one person operating sound and the live stream today, so your graciousness and patience is especially appreciated. Spring arrives just in time with the greening of maple, birch, oak, and willow, the blooming of tulip, lilac, and iris. Clouds lift and sunlight returns, pouring beauty into our winter-hungry souls. We gather now as seekers of that beauty, found in blossom and birdsong, and here in the faces of beloved friend and kind stranger. We gather in a hurting world to be healers, in a fractured world to be menders, in a world too often driven to destroy, to be creators. As we begin, let us remember there is beauty within us still. May it rise in our presence, shine in our witness, and sing in our celebration today. I invite you to rise and embody your spirit for our opening hymn, which is number 182 in the gray hymnal, Oh, the Beauty in a Life. Eliza will play this hymn one time through, and then we'll join in singing together.
Please join me in welcoming the Hauser-Tucker family to light the chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. We light this flame, an enduring symbol of our collective commitment to lead with truth and compassion. And now, in unison, let us join our voices in saying these words of affirmation, adapted from L. Griswold Williams. We covenant to speak honestly, and listen deeply to each other and the voice within. Treat each other with compassion and honor our differences. Take responsibility for the impact our words, actions, and inactions have on each other. Support each other in times of need and of grief, and celebrate the beauty and joy in our lives. Honor the gifts of the past and be gentle with each other as we grow, and encourage each other in the brave work of creating a more beloved community and a healthy, sustainable world, and forgive each other and start again. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Today we're going to be reading a fable called The Empty Pot, and I'm going to need some help telling it. So I'd love to invite all the children and youth who would like to come up and help be a part of this story to come up now. All right, does everyone have an empty pot? Did everyone go? Okay, great. All right. So here's our story. A long time ago, there was a boy named Ping who loved flowers. Anything he planted burst into bloom. Up came flowers, bushes, and even big fruit trees, as if by magic. Everyone in the kingdom loved flowers too, especially the emperor. He tended his own garden every day, but the emperor was very old, and he needed to choose a successor to the throne. He wondered, who would his successor be, and how would he choose? Well, because the emperor loved flowers so much, he decided to let the flowers choose. The next day, a proclamation was issued. All the children in the land were to come to the palace, and they would be given special flower seeds by the emperor. Whoever can show me their best flower in a year's time, he said, will succeed me to the throne. The news created great excitement throughout the land. Children from all over the country swarmed to the palace to get their flower seeds. All the parents wanted their children to be chosen as emperor too, and all the children hoped they would be chosen. When Ping received his seed from the emperor, he was the happiest child of all. He was sure he could grow the most beautiful flower. You need a seed, don't you? Yes, all right, let's get everybody a flower seed. So could you all help by being Ping in this story with me? So we're going to take a flower seed just like Ping and bring it back to our seats. Great. And you can take one, a few, however many you want. Increasing the odds. I like it. All right. Great. So, everybody has their flower seed. So let's be Ping. Ping filled his flower pot with rich soil. So let's all pretend to put some rich soil into our flower pots. And then he planted the seed into it very carefully. Can you plant? Oh, that's a lot. Thanks. All right. So then plant your seed in your flower pot. And then what else does a flower need? Water. Great. And sunlight. All right. So let's water our seeds and get our pots ready to go. All right. So Ping couldn't wait to see it sprout, grow, and blossom into a beautiful flower. Day after day passed, but nothing grew in his pot. Nothing. Ping was worried. So he put new soil in the pot. All right, let's try some new soil. Can we get some new soil in there? Great. All right. Another 2 months he waited, and still nothing happened. Soon, the whole year passed. Spring came, and all the children rushed to the palace with their beautiful flowers. We have some other children coming in with their flowers. Oh, gosh, those are really beautiful. And so they were all hoping to be chosen. But Ping, he was ashamed of his empty pot. He thought the other children would laugh at him because for once he couldn't get a flower to grow. But his father said, "You did your best, and your best is good enough to present to the emperor." So holding the empty pot in his hands, Ping went to the palace. All right, so now I'll be the emperor. All right. Now let's all hold up our empty pots for the emperor to see. And the beautiful flowers. Let's see them all. Okay, great. So the emperor was looking at the flowers slowly, one by one. How beautiful the flowers were. But the emperor was frowning and not saying a word. Finally, he came to Ping. Ping hung his head, expecting to be punished. And the emperor asked him, "Why did you bring me an empty pot?" Well, Ping started to cry and replied, "I planted the seed you gave me, and I watered it every day, but it didn't sprout. I put it in better soil, but still it didn't sprout. I tended it all year long, but nothing grew. So today I had to bring an empty pot without a flower. It was the best I could do." Well, when the emperor heard these words, a smile slowly spread over his face, and he put his arm around Ping. Then he explained to one and all, "I have found him. I have found the one person worthy of being emperor. Where everybody else got their seeds from, I do not know. For the seeds I gave were all cooked, so it was impossible for any of them to grow. I admire Ping's great courage to appear before me with the empty truth. And now I reward him with my entire kingdom and make him the emperor of all the lands." Can we have a little applause for our Pings and our new emperors here? Yeah. All right, so whose pot did the emperor think was the most beautiful? The empty pot. Okay, but he couldn't see anything in there. So why was it beautiful? Why was it beautiful? The dirt? Yeah. So he worked really hard on it, and all you could see was the dirt, but it was the hard work that made it beautiful. Nice. All right. So beauty doesn't have to be something we see. And then what is it that actually makes something beautiful? If it's not always something that we see, what other things can be beautiful? Yeah, Hattie. Yeah, so things that you like. So is kind of what I'm hearing, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it's things that you like, that you can feel, that feel good, but you can't necessarily see them? You like what it does. So it's like, what about what it does, not how it looks? Yeah, that's a really important point. So I'm going to share a little something more about this story. So sometimes stories that start with a long time ago can make us feel like they aren't actually about us. But I'm going to share a personal story about how this fable impacted me just this week. So a few days ago, I started to have a big rosacea flare-up and an allergic reaction to medication that I was taking. And it left my face looking a little different than I was used to. And despite my best efforts to get it to go away, I tried everything. I wanted to hide my face because I was afraid of what other people might think, just like Ping felt about his pot. But then yesterday, I realized there was a huge irony in me reading a story today about what really matters most: honesty, courageousness, integrity, and all our most beautiful inner characteristics, while being worried about how I looked on the outside. The universe has a wonderful sense of humor. And so, although the story seems like it's about an emperor long ago, it's actually about you, it's about me, it's about all of us. We all have our ping moments in life when we're afraid to show up just as we are. Maybe it's not being able to do something like ping, like grow a flower. Maybe it's something about our appearance, like I felt this week. Or maybe it's just not feeling good enough in some other way. When we find ourselves in these moments, which we all inevitably will, we can remember ping. We can show up with our empty pots. Where are the empty pots? Show up with our empty pots and without ideas about how we should be, because it's our empty pots filled with nothing but truth and courage, which is what the world really needs. All right, well, all right, so shifting gears here. All right, our spiritual exploration programming today, we are going to have our younger group in Children's Chapel, and we'll be singing and creating art to get ready for our very special Lifespan Spiritual Exploration service next Sunday, in which they will once again be singing with our UCM choir. In our youth group, grades 4 through 8, will be uncovering the lost labyrinth from the north side yard. You may have heard that we have a labyrinth here, and it's actually true, but it's just been buried for a few years or it's been buried with some growth on top of it, so we need our UCM youth to uncover it and bring it back to life for it. And we are delighted to welcome new families to participate, so if you have not already filled out a registration form, please come with your child, do that, and then you can return to service if you'd like. And we are so happy that everybody is here with us today. And so children, now you can come to the Children's Chapel through this door here, and the youth will exit through the back of the sanctuary for youth group. All right, thank you.
It's a joy to be a part of such an engaged community, and here's some things that are happening now. This Thursday night, join DRUM, which is Diverse and Revolutionary Unitarian Universalist Multicultural Ministries, for the 2025 public worship service with guest preacher, our very own Reverend Joan Javier Duval, and the theme is There Will Always Be Dancing. The UCM Racial Justice Group will host a watch party of the live stream service, which begins at 8 p.m. in the vestry. All are welcome. Also, our congregational annual meeting will be held next Sunday, May 18th, starting at 11:15. Just to kind of note that's a little earlier, 11:15 in the sanctuary and via live video or phone through Zoom. All are encouraged to attend, to discuss, and for active members to vote on church business. Copies of the printed annual report are available at the church today. An official warning will be sent via email tomorrow. And finally, in 2 weeks, we will have a poetry service. If you have an existing poem or a piece of prose you would like to share, or thinking of writing something, please be in touch with Sarah Franklin. And also, please consult the weekly e-news, which is carefully updated each week for its Friday morning publication. Now I would like to ask Kelly McCracken to come up and tell us about the work Central Vermont Refugee Action Network does for our community.
Good morning. I'm Kelly McCracken. I'm she, her pronouns. I'm the newly appointed board president of CVRAN, I think almost a month I've been in the role. Thank you so much for choosing us as your May Pouch recipient. And I know that many of you are very familiar with CVRAN. For those who don't know much about us, I will quickly summarize. We are celebrating our 10th year. Our vision is to build, in partnership with others, a vibrant, inclusive global community in Central Vermont, where refugees and asylum seekers find hope, engagement, empowerment, and a strong sense of belonging. CVRAN coordinates a network of 214 official volunteers which is growing every day, who assist refugees and asylum seekers with wraparound services that include English language lessons, education and career support, legal services, transportation, driving lessons, and social and community connection. We initially pay for all needs, including housing, food, and medical care. As new Vermonters achieve financial and social stability, we gradually taper our assistance. We are powered by community volunteerism. Just this year, actually in about 6 weeks' time, in February and the beginning of March, we already welcomed 13 new Vermonters to Central Vermont, 9 adults and 4 children. We are currently working with a total of 83 individuals in Central Vermont. More than half are children. And that includes very diverse levels of support. Some of the countries of origin represented include Afghanistan, Cameroon, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Tunisia. I thought I'd Our new executive director is meeting with every team, creating a rapid response plan, including legal representation, emergency contacts, and more. We also worry about critical support systems for low-income Vermonters being cut, disrupted. Luckily, the bulk of our organization's funding is private. We do not rely on federal funds. Ending with the best part, which is really easy. It's just the daily connection. It's just the relationships, the gratifying big and small projects that we work on. An example of a big project, we're on the cusp of completing a 4-unit house in Montpelier that was formerly empty. We're working with Downstreet on that. 2 families have just moved in. 2 more will move in this month. And a more daily project, we're currently organizing transportation to summer camps for the kids and organizing our popular summer reading program, which pairs readers with children. And those are just little examples. I know many of you are involved with some of these projects. And because of Mother's Day, I'm not staying for the coffee hour, which I was hoping to do. There's a bunch of people in the audience here who you could ask how to contact me. I'd love to connect with any of you. Peter Toms comes to mind. He knows how to reach me by email. You can also reach me by email on the website. So thanks again, and yeah, we really appreciate it.
Thank you. The offering that we take each Sunday is an opportunity to recommit to this place, our community, and to the values of our faith. Each month through UCM Community Pouch Program, we share a part of our collection with an important church fund or a community organization aligned with our values. This month's Community Pouch recipient is CVRAN. Half of our cash offerings will go to the pouch recipient. The other half will go directly to support the mission and ministry of this congregation. If you wish to designate your entire offering to the community pouch, please indicate that with a note attached to your cash or in the memo line of your check. Checks will go to the church unless designated otherwise. You can find the offering pouches at the end of the pews on the side aisles. Please pass them towards the center aisle, which I see you have done. We are so grateful to each and every one of you for your generosity in its many forms. Your offering will now be gratefully received.
microphone. Gently, gently, gently. I think it's on. Okay. I invite you into a time of meditation. Meditation and prayer. Allowing yourself to be more fully present. Allowing your body to settle just right where you are. Allowing whatever worries, concerns you might be holding, seeing if you can hold them a little less tightly. It is a true blessing to be able to gather in community, to join with others with the sole purpose of nurturing your spirit and the spirit of those around you. And so let us just breathe into that blessing, the blessing of being here together. And today is Mother's Day, as has been mentioned a couple of times. On this Mother's Day, I want to acknowledge the joy and gratitude and celebration that might be present and felt, as well as all of the complicated feelings that also go along with this day each year. If you are feeling that joy and gratitude and celebration, open yourself to it, giving thanks for those mothers in your life who have nurtured you, for your own opportunity to nurture others. Thankful for all of those mothers and nurturers of all genders who care for us and for the world. And if this day brings up other feelings and memories that are more complicated, more difficult, we also hold those feelings with tenderness and compassion. Mothers always call it the wrong time. That's what I notice in my life. Call me later, Mom. I know you're watching. For all the ways that our mothers make our lives more difficult. We can laugh and sometimes shed a tear for those ways in which we were not nurtured when we wanted and needed it, for the ways in which we have not been able to mother or parent when we would have wished. And yet there are so many ways for all of us to create and to nurture in this life. And I share with you this prayer of co-creation by Lynn Cox. Creative Spirit, source of life and love, we give thanks for the beauty of this day and for the company of those assembled here. Thank you for the breezes of change, clearing our heads and bringing fresh ideas. May they cleanse our minds of the oppressions and isms that divide us. Thank you for the flame of hope, the heat of righteous anger, the warmth of compassion, and the fire of commitment. May they bubble the cauldrons of transformation. Thank you for oceans of love, rivers of connection, tears of relief, and pools of serenity. May healing waters flow over us and through us and among us, wearing down the sharp rocks of despair to bring joy in the morning. Thank you for the good earth beneath us, around us, and within us. May we take this clay and co-create a new realm of justice and beauty. Thank you for all these and more. We accept our gifts and commit to building, sculpting, painting, singing, and dancing them to life, to abundant life. Blessed be. Amen. And let us now share in a time of quiet meditation together. The first reading I have to share this morning, Bryce, if you can hear me, I think we need more volume on the pulpit, way more. Thanks. The first reading I have to share this morning is the poem Good Bones by Maggie Smith. And there is some language in the poem that I wouldn't normally use in church, but I want to honor the poet. So, life is short, though I keep this from my children. Life is short, and I've shortened mine in 1,000 delicious, ill-advised ways. 1,000 deliciously ill-advised ways I'll keep from my children. The world is at least 50% terrible, and that's a conservative estimate, though I keep this from my children. For every bird, there is a stone thrown at a bird. For every loved child, a child broken, bagged, sunk in a lake. Life is short, and the world is at least half terrible. And for every kind stranger, there is one who would break you, though I keep this from my children. I am trying to sell them the world. Any decent realtor walking you through a real shithole chirps on about good bones. This place could be beautiful, right? You could make this place beautiful. And the second reading is an excerpt from the book Beauty, the Invisible Embrace by John O'Donohue. The human soul is hungry for beauty. We seek it everywhere, in landscape, music, art, clothes, furniture, gardening, companionship, love, religion, and in ourselves. When we experience the beautiful, there is a sense of homecoming. We feel most alive in the presence of the beautiful, for it meets the needs of our soul. Without any of the usual calculation, we can slip into the beautiful with the same ease as we slip into the seamless embrace of water. Something ancient within us already trusts that this embrace will hold us. In one of his many acts of humble service, the late Pope Francis sat at the feet of 12 women in the Rabibia women's prison to wash their feet. It was Holy Thursday. Like other popes before him, he came to model Jesus' revolutionary gesture, turning power upside down when the teacher became the servant, stooping low to wash the feet of his disciples. At the Rabibia prison, it was the first time a pope had washed the feet of all women. Papa Francis, the people's pope, took each woman's foot in his hand, poured water over it, and then bent his face down to plant a gentle kiss before moving on to the next. The human soul is hungry for beauty. We seek it everywhere. We are longing for exemplars of beauty in an age saturated with grotesque displays of power, cruelty, and lies. We don't need memes of pretend popes, but real life, flesh and bone, acts of beauty. Writing in 2004, John O'Donoghue's words resonate more than a decade later. He writes, "These times are riven with anxiety and uncertainty. In the hearts of people, some natural ease has been broken. It is astounding how this has reached deep into the heart. Our trust in the future has lost its innocence. Politics, religion, and economics, and the institutions of family and community all have become abruptly unsure. At first, it sounds completely naive to suggest that now might be the time to invoke and awaken beauty. Yet there is nowhere else to turn, and we are desperate. Furthermore, it is because we have so disastrously neglected the beautiful that we now find ourselves in such terrible crisis. Indeed, beauty has been neglected. The beauty of this earth we breathe and move upon, its forests stripped, its creatures threatened by warming ocean waters. The beauty of the migrant mother, child, grandfather, laborer, searching for somewhere safe and welcoming to call home. How we regard the people, places, and material world shapes how we treat them. In his encyclical letter, Laudato Si', Pope Francis writes, "By learning to see and appreciate beauty, we learn to reject self-interested pragmatism. If someone has not learned to stop and admire something beautiful, we should not be surprised if he or she treats everything as an object to be used and abused without scruple. We must learn to appreciate beauty so that we learn how to move beyond self-interest. One form of beauty is aesthetic, the beauty of form, color, sound, the kind that engages and delights the senses, found in the natural world, so evident at this time of year here in Vermont, as well as in art, design. Appreciating this kind of beauty can enliven the spirit, but today I want to speak about a different kind of beauty, moral beauty, beauty that arises from goodness when we act in service, sacrifice, and care, and when we witness others doing the same, the kind of beauty in the washing of feet in an Italian prison. Psychologist Maria Soroy writes, Goodness toward others is one of humanity's highest virtues. Captured as moral excellence in the field of psychology, it is understood to be essential to the survival of our species and essential also to living a life of meaning and value. In this same field of study, moral excellence is also seen as a form of beauty, the beauty of the inner essence of humanity. It is a transcendent quality of our humanness, moving us beyond the self-centered concern for personal survival and well-being in the larger realms of kinship. The beauty of moral excellence isn't about perfection and getting it right 100% of the time. Of course, we fall short. We fail to act with kindness and generosity over and over again. But aiming towards it puts us in touch with our own inherent beauty and goodness. I want you to think back to the last kind thing you did. And I'm sure that each of us here can think of some way we have acted with kindness, whether it was holding the door for someone else, making yourself a warm cup of tea at the end of a long day, speaking a kind word to your child or to a friend. How did you feel when you acted from that place of wholeness and goodness within you? Such acts towards others and towards ourselves remind us of the mutuality of our relations, that we are deeply interconnected with others in simple and profound ways. Acting with moral excellence, that is, with good intent, connects us with our inner beauty. The intent isn't to gain admiration or to prove ourselves worthy. Ping in the story earlier today is such a great example of this. Instead, there's a deeper feeling of aliveness and harmony that can come from acting in concert with the interconnected web of mutuality. Maria Soroy writes that moral beauty is about seeing one's place in life as a conduit of goodness, of choosing to see and act on behalf of others. And for some of us, this is where and how we feel most alive, connected to the larger, ineffable forces which ensure that we are part of the interdependent flow, a flow that necessarily must include all races, identities, geographies, circumstances of living. Too often we can become closed off from one another, but what aliveness can emerge when we act as a conduit of goodness, when we become attuned to the interdependent flow of life that includes all people and all beings upon this planet. The words from our opening hymn, inspired by the Reverend Toribio Quimada, founder of the UU Church of the Philippines, ring so true. Oh, the beauty in a life that illumines honor anew, that models wise and gracious ways to every seeker, that every day shall serve in joy and do the right. Oh, praise the life whose beauty shows a justice true. And the effects of acting with moral excellence and beauty don't stop within ourselves. They ripple outward. When we witness it in others, it shifts something in us. This can both move us into a more positive outlook on life and also catalyze something in our psyches that changes how we behave. It can inspire us to become more generous, more courageous, more compassionate. On May 1st, International Workers' Day, I joined close to 2,000 people in Williston for a May Day march and rally. I have been to many protests and many marches, but what stood out that day were the young safety marshals, mostly in their 20s, vests brightly shining, some of them riding bikes. As we marched on the sidewalk along Route 7, they paced up and down the road, keeping us in one formation, gently guiding the crowd, watching the traffic, and keeping us safe. The care of these marshals gave me greater purpose and mindfulness that day. I found myself looking out for others, alerting the people behind me when there was a dip in the sidewalk, making sure I wasn't moving too quickly or too slowly so we could all stay together. Their moral beauty was contagious. And then there are those who endure immense suffering and injustice and still act with grace and generosity. I think of Mohsen Madawi, who was recently arrested and detained by ICE and then released by federal court ruling after 16 days in prison. Even through this ordeal, he showed moral beauty. He describes being led with his hands cuffed and feet shackled into the vehicle that would take him to the Northwest Correctional Facility and imagining that he was doing walking meditation. He wrote inspiring and love-filled words to his community at First UU in Heartland. These are words that he shared a few days before his release. To my dear family and community at the UU Church of Heartland, my heart is overflowing with joy and love. I feel your love and support cutting through the barbed wire. I feel your love penetrating the prison's cold walls and igniting hope across America. As I sit in my cell, I can see the lighting of the chalice and hear the prayers you read that bring in the spirit of justice. I assure you that I am in good spirits. Speaking of spirits, I will be connecting with you today, this very Sunday, by singing one of my favorite songs from our tradition, Spirit of Life, Come Unto Me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Your love is a light in dark times. May that spirit of light bring peace and justice for Palestine, for the people of America, and for all humanity. And when Mohsen was released, he asked to sing Spirit of Life and did so outside the federal court building, alongside my colleagues, the Reverend Paul Sawyer of Heartland and the Reverend Leon Duckley from Woodstock. Now, Mohsen is a human being just like you and me. I don't wish to idolize him, but his example stands in stark contrast to the ugliness around us, the ugliness that led him to be unjustly detained and imprisoned. And just as he can act with moral beauty, so can we. And I witness this moral beauty in this community all the time. This community is awash in beauty. In the warmth of our community lunch volunteers, serving plate after plate of food on Mondays and other days of the week. In the quiet support given to asylum seekers new to the community in need of friendship and help acclimating to a new environment. In the care and reverence shown to the flowers and the grass and the trees that grace our bit of land here in downtown Montpelier. You all are so beautiful. In a time when the terrible threatens to overtake the good, we can let beauty shine through with each kind word, each loving act, each courageous risk, each generous gift. The poet asks, this place could be beautiful, right? Yes, yes. We will make this place beautiful. So may it be. I invite you to rise and body your spirit for our closing hymn, number 318 in the gray hymnal, We Would Be One.
You
Please join in our unison mission statement. We welcome all as we build a loving community to nurture each person's spiritual journey, serve human need, and protect the earth, our home.
And these words of benediction are by John O'Donohue. May the shelter and nourishment of all the good you have done, the love you have shown, the suffering you have carried, awaken around you to bless your life 1,000 times. May you find enough stillness and silence to savor the kiss of God on your soul and delight in the eternity that shaped you, that holds you and calls you. May divine beauty bless you. And we conclude our service with the postlude. Thank you again to Stephen Brown.